Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Business Growth Show, where we talk about all components of business and how to utilize them for exponential growth. My name is Athin Cassiotis. I'm a business growth expert where I help business owners grow and scale to create wealth and freedom. And today, I have an awesome guest. He's a speaker, award-winning entrepreneur, and the creator of the Rebel Selling System. He transforms underdog salespeople into arse-kicking sales rebels. And his career of professional persuasion started when he was 16, selling door-to-door and over the phone from retail stores to people's lounge rooms. And during COVID, he built a six-figure sales business from his bedroom, which he then doubled in revenue in size within 2 years by using the Rebel system. And after that success, he started to share his secrets with his own team and other salespeople to help them achieve their income goals. Welcome, Theo Law, and thank you for being on my show.
Thank you for having me, Athin.
Yeah, awesome, mate. I'm sure it's going to be awesome for everyone watching and listening today. So firstly, you're a very successful entrepreneur. So for those people who don't know who you are, please introduce yourself by telling us about you and your journey.
Sure. So my name is Theo Law, and I'm the sales director of McClaw's Property and the creator of Rebel Selling System. As you said, I started selling when I was 16, from door to door, over the phone, selling products and services that people want and those that people need. And since then, during COVID, I built the company, McClaw's Property, and then first year we did close to 380,000 in sales, and then after that we then doubled it in the second year. And with the system that we used, we call that Rebel because is 2023 this year, and all those old school selling system and techniques are very much outdated when I started, and I was struggling a lot when I started, and until I stumbled upon a book called Go Givers, and is not about sales, but it's about how to create value in people's life. And I took the concept from that book and created an internal sales menu for myself and later on for my team. By using that system and that internal sales method and processes, we have achieved the success that we did. And since then, I start sharing the system with my team and other salespeople so that they can achieve their goals.
Yeah. Awesome, mate. Sounds amazing. I love it. Love great stories and how you've been able to create your own concepts and help yourself and your team as well. So firstly, let's go a little bit deeper into your career starting, right? Professional persuasion at 16, selling door-to-door and over the phone, right? Which is awesome, I think. But so from your side, what skills did you learn there and how has that shaped you into who you are today?
Okay. Like I said, when I just started, I struggled a lot. And because I don't know what value is, and I don't know the concept of adding value to people's life, in my mind, and I believe, and in the system that we teach, value is the number one element. And in selling anything, and also any selling method or anywhere from door to door and at the retail stores, the number one thing you should keep in mind is how do you add value to your customer's life? That's number one. Number two is how you can build an influence based on your knowledge, based on your incredible skills and skill sets. And also nowadays, you basically have a free broadcasting channel in your hands, which is your cell phone. Everyone has a free 24/7 broadcasting channel in their hands. So number two is build an inference. Number three, which is how you can touch as many people's life as possible. That's number three. And number four is basically be open to, or give yourself permission to succeed. So I basically break it down into 4 steps. Number 1, create value in what you're offering, products or services. Number 2, build your influence based on your offer or based on your knowledge. Number 4 is create a network and touch as many people's life as possible. Finally, number 4 is give yourself permission to succeed.
Yeah, nice. I love it. I can see the mindset stuff in there as well as the actual skills and the value that you're offering. And yeah, I know with me, I didn't do it at 16, but I had to do door-to-door sales a bit later in my mid-20s. And you know, dealing with the rejection, which was interesting, and actually built a bit of a thick skin and resilience, I found, from me as well, because we're not going to get yeses off every sales, you know, situation, right? So it's understanding that that's going to happen, but you know, still adding the value to help people, you know, where we can as well. So
yeah, and add to that, Athin, like I said, when I started, I struggled a lot because the traditional sales method is you generate leads, and then you put that leads into a funnel and then overcome the rejections, and then you know, you have some closing skills technique, different closes. That's the traditional funnel. And I struggled a lot with that system because, like you said, rejections, fear of rejections. I think that's by far the number 1 fear in any salespeople. And to me as well, and when I started, I really don't know how to handle rejections. I took it personally. And later on, I found that the modern day selling system is completely different, and objections or rejection became irrelevant. And I'll explain why. Objection, right? So we were taught overcoming people's objection, and then you close, right? But in the modern days selling system, objections are irrelevant because, like I said, number 1, create value, add value to people's life with the product or service that you offer. So if your product or services has immense amounts of value which exceeded the price tag, when you successfully articulate that to your customer, it is a no-brainer for the customer to buy. So that's why the objection is irrelevant, because yeah, you won't be able to close 100% of your customer. Let's face it, because some of them are not ready, some of them may not have the finances, or it's not the right timing for them. No matter what you do, you will never close a certain percentage of the customer. So no matter how hard you learn about the closes, objection handling, doesn't matter. You would never close a certain percentage of the clients. And what you would have is the frustrations, because you learn, you read a number of books about all these techniques and skills, and in the reality, if you can't articulate your value and build an influence, those skills are rubbish. Unfortunately, the skills that we were taught at the beginning of my career, unfortunately, are not relevant anymore in the modern day selling method. So that basically changed my mind, that book called Go Giver. And that's why, yeah, so at the beginning, I really struggled. And like you said, from door to door and even over the phone. And that's why I am committed to, you know, sharing my knowledge and sharing my finding to other salespeople, because I know salespeople, right? I'm one of them. Salespeople, they are very goal driven, and also they are generally very hungry. They know what they want, and sometimes they know what they want, but they lack the pathway, how to get to the destination. So I'm committed to helping other salespeople to achieve their income goals. And with the income that they received by learning the system and applying the system, I believe that's how we can have the flow-on effects in people's life. If you have a high income, imagine what you can do. You can, if you like, you can give it away. If you like, you can improve your family's life and improve even other people's life as well. So that's really, that's always in my head when I'm sharing. That's why I'm really open and to the idea that, so once I found something that is working, I really want to share to other people, because I think that's the way how we can change the world.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I love that. So true. Completely agree with all that, and I can feel it. And passing it on and helping others to grow is everybody growing at the same time. And I love the value side of things, especially because I think everyone can agree we've got to be adding value in some way, right? To somebody that they can see it. So let's delve maybe a little bit deeper into value, because it's a big term, and how do we sort of do that value? You mentioned before about making it more, what you're offering, like the value a lot more. So it's a bit of a no-brainer. But what are some things that we should be thinking about on how we're creating the value and articulating, or whatever it is, around the value side?
Yes, so that's very important. And I believe everyone has their unique selling proposition, if you like to call USP. Everyone has something that is really unique and which is really deserved to be heard. And so let's say, for example, I have a friend, she's a single mom, and she was in sales previously, and because with kids and being a single parent, she doesn't have a lot of time to do all the activities, do all the sales activities. And therefore, I just basically tell her, you need to find a way to maximize the hours that you input into your sales activities. You need to maximize the hours, not by adding more hours to it, but by doing more in those hours. And like you said, how to add more value to people. So like she's a single mom, and then I believe she would be like very good at how to multitask, and how to be different roles in with her kids, and she has to be both the mother and the father role. I believe she will be more compassionate, because it's really hard for a woman to survive, and also in the sales world where it's more male dominant. So she definitely has a strong and powerful message to share, and that's why, so everyone has a unique message. She need to find, so I tell her, you need to find your unique message that you can share with your customer. And I think with her, for example, being a single parent, and what she can also connect with her clients is through vulnerability, because people sometimes actually more often connect with other people through vulnerability. And it sounds like doesn't sound like any value to anyone, right? But if you can find the right audience and you can connect with that audience, and because value doesn't always mean tangible value. Sometimes values also could be intangible, could be just a care or love that you show to other people. So basically, because like for example, that my friend, so she doesn't have a lot of time in her work life. So I just basically tell her, you need to focus on going deeper with her clients. So I just asked her work out a list of 50 people in her life, in her circle, who owns real estate, who's looking to buy or sell in the real estate market. So 50 of them. And I want her to work on all 50 of them. I asked her, you need to find out everything about those people, their birth dates, what color do they like, their kid's name, their pet's name, what's their favorite food, what their favorite movie, favorite music. I want her to find out every single interest and everything about those people, and then build better connections with follow-ups. And also I ask her to practice her questioning skills. So once you know more and know deeper with your clients, and you ask the right questions, not by telling, right, by asking the right question, and also listen to the changes in their answers. For example, if you hear that, oh, Mary actually just got promoted, and Mary needs to move interstate to Melbourne, for example, and then straight away you picked up there's a change in your client's life, and there could be a need for a real estate agent or whatever service that you are trying to sell or product that you're trying to sell. So get very good at asking the right questions, and also listen to the changes in their answers.
Yeah, I love it, mate. Really, really powerful. And, it basically, what you're doing as well in that process is creating rapport and trust a lot, right? Because you got this really trusted relationship because you know a lot about them. And then, yeah, when you've got your eyes, open and your ears open to hearing things and asking the right questions, and very, very powerful to be that conduit. So I love that element there. And I love the fourth one a lot as well, about giving yourself permission, which is sort of a mindset thing element there. So tell us why that's, really important for us as well.
Yeah, that's a really good question, Nathan. And in my mind, that's actually number one. But I don't want to be, too woo-woo or, scare people away. So giving yourself permission to succeed, especially in sales or in any career that you need to make things happen through your own hands. You need to give yourself permission and say to the world that you have something unique to offer. And that's a mindset shift within you, because you have to believe in you before you can convince other people. Because like any sales activities, you're basically convincing someone that your product or your service is the best. So if you don't believe in yourself, so giving yourself permission, and how you can do that is through reading and learning, and be surrounded by like-minded people, because you need to be inspired to inspire. First, you need to be inspired, and then to inspire. Surround yourself with like-minded people, and also learning and absorbing the knowledge, and also through, sharing as well, just like what we're doing, and Nathan, what you're doing through sharing your knowledge in itself is actually a reinforcement in your own head. And also, why I said you need to be inspired to inspire, and also be surrounded with like-minded people, is I'm sure you all heard the saying that you are the average of 5 people you hang out with, which is so true. So therefore, giving yourself permission, and also knowing how to, when you are down or a bit depressed, or you got, a lot of rejections in a role, then how you can pick yourself up, that's also another very important skill, especially in sales. But like I said, if you can fix your front end, any objections or rejections are really, really irrelevant, because you won't be able to close 100% of your clients. But if you are so convict, and also you are so convinced that you have the best service and product in the world, and also you're adding more value than the money that you ask, then the rest is you leave it to your customer. When it's the right timing for them, they will make the right decision. So you also need to have that mindset in your head that you need to have that conviction.
Yeah, awesome, mate. I love it there. And yeah, it's really, really powerful about that. And it comes down to that preparation, right, as well, because you may get a no, right, in something, or for whatever reason, especially at the start of the day, and you've got to be able to change your, mindset, your physiology, so you can change that, right, to be like, okay, well, that may not have got them, but let me move forward and let me add value and do what I need to do for the next person that I'm speaking to in that sales conversation, or whatever it is from there. Yeah, awesome. And so let's talk about I think people always hear the good things or how things work, but it's challenging, right, in business, doing sales and stuff like that. Do you want to maybe share a bit of a challenging situation that you've had to go through in a sales, and sort of what came up? I know that your system, it's not necessarily about the objections, but to know that, well, you have to pivot sometimes, right? Like, your approach to things, because maybe you had thought maybe this is what they wanted or this, but then you have to change, depending on what happened sometimes, or something came up, right, in the discussion, and sort of, adjust it, or maybe you didn't do the pitch at that time. So do you want to maybe just talk about, a certain situation, challenging situation that you had to change a little bit? It was a bit challenging.
Yeah, okay. So in any service industry, first you have to, like I said, convince your clients you're the best, so that they can make the right decision and engage your service. And I have a situation recently, a potential client rang me up and inquired about my service. And he was interested in knowing the results that I've got for another property, right? And at that time, I cannot disclose. It's not because the results is not great, but because of privacy issue. During that period, I could not disclose the results that I have for the other sale. And then he kept pressing and just keep chasing, and then we were going around and around in a circle. But because of privacy and other legal issues, I couldn't disclose. So at the end, I feel like I really have to break the rapport, right? Because normally rapport is number one thing when you're doing any business or any sales. But at the end, I really have to break the rapport. And I basically said to him, look, I hope you can appreciate that I cannot disclose, because I'm working in my client's best interest. I'm representing that clients in that sale. I know that you potential clients that you would like to consider my service, but that doesn't mean that I can then overthrow everything and then just drop everything and then to fulfill your inquiry. So I was just being authentic, and I have to break the rapport, but I was just being authentic. And at the end, he appreciates. Well, he said to me, before I explained the situation, he said to me, "Oh, you guys just don't say you're working in your client's interest. I know how you real estate agent. I know how you are. You're just working in your own interest." And I also really don't want to argue with him, but I have to say to him, look, Colin, his name is. Look, Colin, I don't agree what you just said. I'm not that kind of an agent. I'm sorry you have that feeling. Maybe you had a bad experience before, but I really couldn't agree with that statement. But at the end of the conversation, he appreciate I was being authentic and upfront with him, and also I've been able to uphold my own integrity. So that phone call went on for nearly 45 minutes. I was sitting in the car, I was about to park, but I was just, sitting in the car, finishing the conversation. Was quite frustrated at that time, but at the end, he realized, okay, I'm a little bit different than the agents that he encountered before. So at the end, the conversation went okay, I would say. Then that was the time that I had to pivot, because and at the beginning I was trying to go a bit nicer and trying to switch the topic to something else, but then finally I just have no choice. I have to confront him and also break the rapport there. But it was okay at the end.
Yeah, I love that story. So powerful, where there's a couple of things in there, right? Where the mindset of the person coming in, especially if they've had bad experiences from the past and they have these assumptions that everybody is like that, which is bad to have those. So that was powerful. So people to realize that. But it was also not just that, but not every client is going to be your client, and that authenticity and telling them how it is, like being what they need to hear, not necessarily what they want to hear, right? And they were like, okay, wow, yeah, this is actually, putting them in their place a little bit, but they you do it in the right way, can be really powerful. So I think you've changed his life and his mindset to an extent, and whether he's ready, he'll probably come back to you, or he will be in a better place. You put him in a better place to be able to do that. So I love that, those elements, and it shows anything can happen and that we have to adjust, in there. So I love that. Theo, thank you.
Yeah.
And
so
yeah,
one thing to add to that is you cannot control the timing, because everyone has different timing. All you can do is, well, for me, I would like to uphold my values and also my integrity, and then do your best, but the timing is not really up to you. It's a bit like farming or looking after a garden or looking after a apple tree, right? That it's all has its own timing. That's why it resonates back to the system that we share, that we teach, is focus on the value, not the closing, and also the relationship, and also how to connect and how to build relationship, how to build meaningful relationship. It's really through authenticity. Be the truth self and be real and connect with other people, other human beings, through vulnerability and through ambitions as well, and through your authenticity, and the rest is you just leave it to its own timing.
Yeah. Awesome, mate. Love that. It's extra additions as well. And you sort of mentioned a little bit before, but I want to touch on coaching and mentoring now, because I think it's really powerful. Like, you're passing it on, but obviously you've learned a lot of things, whether it's just from books, but actually coaches and mentors that help you. So how important has coaching mentoring been, in your business, and what it's helped you to achieve?
It's life-changing, basically. Yeah, changed my mind. Like I said, was struggling a lot in sales, and until I really learned how to invest in myself, which is also in my, mentoring and coaching by other people, by my mentors. So, I heard a saying the other day that if you don't learn how to invest in yourself, how can you expect other people to invest in your service or your product? If you have a product to offer, which is, let's say, if it's a high ticket offer, a program, let's say it's 10, 20,000, and you're trying to sell that product or service, if you invest in yourself for that amount or for that caliber, how do you expect other people? Because if you don't have that in your mind, it will never become the reality, because deep in your subconscious, you're a non-believer. It's like faith, right? Faith. If you haven't done it, then how do you expect other people to do it? So that's what I learned through mentoring by other people and coaching by other people. Also, another thing is, you might think you know a lot or you know enough. But let me ask you, does Michael Jordan have a coach? That's Michael Phelps has a coach, or any other athlete or any other top performers in any industry, they all have a coach, because it's like a mirror. Your coach is like a mirror that, you might be the best in your field, in your industry, but you would never be able to see your blind spot without a coach, without a third party perspective.
Yeah. Awesome. Mate, I love it. So powerful. And I completely agree around that, where it's definitely helped me to what I've achieved. And like the blind spots, upgrading the mindset, upgrading the skills, and even just getting us there closer, right? It's like a shortcut. It's like, why take 10 years and a lot of pain and time when you can get there quicker to live our, our dream life and enjoying ourselves in our businesses and whatever else we're doing. So it's it's been a very, very value jam-packed episode here today. Theo, thank you for sharing all this stuff and changing the way that we think about sales and this rebel selling system, which is really powerful. And I think there's a lot of takeaways here, right? If you unpack this, everyone that's been listening to this today, and you change your approach, which may be a bit challenging initially if you've been doing something a lot all the time, but it's always how we change, and grow is how we succeed. So, I implore you to look at what, and listen and take action on what Theo's told us today, and approach it differently and see what different results that you get at the same time. Yeah, really, really powerful. Love it, Theo. And, we connected, through our network. So I learned about your awesome journey from, starting sales at 16 to now creating the Rebel Sales System. Awesome guy, very knowledgeable, very authentic, and really want to be sharing this and helping a lot of others, do the same. And I'm sure you continue to, transform underdog salespeople into arse-kicking sales rebels, as you say, and very grateful that we connected, and look forward to working with you. So Theo, how can people find you and get in contact with you?
Yeah, Athin. So I'm available for speaking and corporate sales training. You can find me on www.theo.law and other major social platforms.
Awesome. All right. Well, you can see Theo, he knows his stuff. Change differently with your team or whatever it is there yourself with the sales. So check him out on his website and on the socials. We'll have that down below as well. And you reach out because, sales is a different game. It's changed, and Theo's cracked the code there on doing things differently. So love that. And thank you to everyone for watching and listening to this show where we talk about everything on business growth. And please like, subscribe, and leave us a 5-star review. You can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube as Athin Cassiotis, or visit my website, athincassiotis.com. If you want to grow and scale your business, you can reach out to me on any platform to see if we're a good fit. I completely agree with you, or do I? The only way we know is if you tune in next time. So until next time, remember that our business grows when we learn skills and take action using them in spite of fear. So remember to design your growth and results.